Alright, so welcome to this little modding video for the KB65he. I already did a sound test, stock and modded, and today I want to show you how you mod the KB65he exactly to make it sound like that. Obviously it's not the best keyboard sound you can get, but I think for a whole effect keyboard it's pretty good sound, and the mods I did are really easy. Whenever you want to build or whenever you want to use a whole effect keyboard, you need to keep in mind that you're kind of throwing away a good sound for fast switches, but I think this sound is fully okay, and today I want to show you how you make the keyboard sound like that. Really simple mods, and all you need for the mod is just some tape. You need some loop. I have those Geekron loop, but the best loop is like Krytox 205G0. You need a little brush, a switch puller, a keycap puller, and switch opener, and a little screwdriver. Don't be confused, I already changed the keycaps of my KB65he. Just imagine you have still the original keycaps on it. Doesn't matter, but yeah. So first, one thing that changes the sound a lot to this is the tape. It's called tape mod. To use the tape mod, you basically stick tape on the back of the PCB. So what we need to do for that is open the keyboard, get it out of the case. All we need to do for that is screw out those screws. I think there are like 8 screws. There's a screw. Under the space bar is a screw, or 2 screws. Then is a screw, I think. There's a screw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In the corner is also one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think there are like 10 screws. And you all need to screw them out. To screw them out, you just need a screwdriver. It's pretty simple, just a really simple basic screwdriver. But it's really important that you use a screwdriver that fits 100%, because if you don't use a screwdriver that fits 100%, you might damage the screws, which is not really good. For example, I'm using the screwdriver. It's a little too small. It works, but if you open the keyboard the first time, the screws are really tight in, and you need a bit of pressure to get them out. And with this screwdriver, I almost destroyed one screw. Yeah, I took the risk that I maybe could open the keyboard never again, so it's really important to use a screwdriver that fits 100%. And I think that's it. The screws are out now. Then you flip the keyboard, just yeah, shake it a bit so the PCB comes out. It's a bit tricky actually, but yeah, just push it out a bit and shake it and whatever, and then you get it out. So first, what you're going to do now with the tape, you put one layer on the PCB, on the back of the PCB. It's pretty simple. I don't actually know how much you can do until it doesn't work anymore, because before I did like 3 layers or something, but after 3 layers the keyboard didn't work for some reason. I think the magnets I broke the magnets somehow, so the keys didn't register anymore. But with 1 layer it's fully fine, and one layer is fully enough for the sound actually. So just put 1 layer on the back of the PCB and it's fine. And what I also did is I did like a kind of a force break mod. Maybe you can see it. I put like tape on the side of the case, and the thought behind that was that this is an aluminum plate and the case is also aluminum, and if I put it in like that and the tape wouldn't be there, it would be metal on metal, you know, and those things, those metal on metal is the reason for like those pingy sound. And I feel like if I put tape there, I reduce the pingy sound from the metal. I'm not sure if it really works, but I did it and I feel like it works, so I just did it. It doesn't matter. Just do what I did and you're good to go. And that's basically the tape mod. If you want, you can put some other silicone in it, or put the silicone out. Just put foam in, whatever. You can try whatever you want. There are a lot mods you can try. But that's basically it. I didn't mod more with the case. So after we did that, just put the keyboard back in, use some pressure to put it fully in. Also you need to check the USB-C if it's free. Push it fully down, and if it's fully down you can take the screws again and screw the keyboard together again. Normally I don't like the tape mod, but I think for this keyboard it's actually really good. Yeah, you don't have many mods, or how do I say that? You don't have many possible mods for this keyboard anyway, and the tape changes actually a lot in my opinion. So it's really helpful to use the tape mod. Also just a little tip from myself, if you screw the screws in again, don't use much pressure. So just screw them in so they're really in the case, but don't use pressure to fully screw them in, you know. Otherwise you risk that you don't get them out the next time you open the case. And yeah, it's just the best. Just don't use much pressure to screw them in. What we want to do next is loop the switches. Alright, so to loop the switches you need a keycap puller. You just use it to get the keycap off. Then you need your keycap puller, not keycap puller, the switch puller. Get the switch out. And if you want an exactly loop tutorial, you can just search it on YouTube, but I want to show it really quick in this tutorial too. You just need your switch opener, press it on the opener so the switch opens. Then you have these three parts: the spring, the stem, this is the stem, and you have the bottom housing. What we want to do now is take our loop, take our little brush, take our bottom housing. I just lost it. Where is it? There is it. Then you dip your brush into the loop and just put some loop on the side of the bottom housing. And honestly, with normal switches you would use not as much loop as I use with Hall effect switches. In my opinion, you kinda need to overloop Hall effect switches to make them sound really good. To make them, for example, sound like that. So you need to use a little bit more loop, but you can do whatever you think is right. Just start with only really little loop, and then go ahead and see what you like from the tip feeling and the sound, whatever. But in my opinion, you need to overloop this, which is a bit. In the end, you take the stem, also some loop, brush it on the side, both sides, and then you put the switch together again, check if everything is alright, and then press it together, put the switch in again, put the keycap back on it. This is unlooped, and this is looped. So it sounds much better in my opinion. You don't have to loop your switches, but I think it's really worth it. Just keep in mind, if you loop your switches, they get a bit heavier to press, because obviously as much, or it depends how much you loop you put on it, the switch gets a bit heavier. Just keep that in mind. But yeah. In my opinion, they're still light enough to press, and in trade-off we get a really good sound for it, so it definitely worth it. And after we did that to all the switches, which can take a few hours, it's really annoying, I know, but as I said, it's just worth it. And you just need to loop them once, and after you did that, it's basically there forever, so not a big deal in my opinion. So after we did that, just put all the keycaps back on it. Or as I said, just use some new keycaps if you want to. You can basically use every keycap on the KB65he from Endgame Gear. Just choose whatever you want. My keycaps, by the way, I got them from AliExpress for like 30 or 40 euros. Also 30 or 40 dollars. You get them in different languages. And I think they look really clean. They have a really good quality for the price. so I chose them. There's also maybe some different mods you can do on the keyboard, but those are the basic mods you need to do in my opinion. And it's pretty simple, it's definitely worth it, and that's the last sound test. I think for a keyboard that actually just needs to be fast, that's a really good sound. And yeah, if that video was helpful for you, just drop a like, I would be really happy about it. And yeah, see you the next time.